So, good morning, students. Welcome to the online classes again. Right, is I think it is clear. Now, I'm going to discuss about the new chapter that is named as biomolecules. Dear students, biomolecules are the substances which are produced by living organisms, which are produced by living systems otherwise, and they are helpful to proper growth and proper health of our life. Is it clear? Very important to your healthy life. Biomolecules are very essential things to our proper growth and proper health. And important biomolecules are we have carbohydrates, we have amino acids, and proteins, then DNA, RNA, they are nothing but nucleic acids, lipids, and etc. Right? We'll discuss one by one without wasting any time. First of all, I'm going to discuss about carbohydrates. Okay, my dear students. Carbohydrates are energy sources. Carbohydrates are energy sources. Take here. Carbohydrates are energy sources. And what is the definition of carbohydrate, my dear students? Say this. The polyhydroxy carbonyl compounds. The polyhydroxy carbonyl compounds, my dear students. This is very important. We know what are hydroxy group, that is what OH group is called hydroxy group. We know this. And what are carbonyl groups? See here. CHO is nothing but aldehyde. CHO is nothing but what is, my dear students? Aldehydes. And the structure is just like this. C double bond OH. Aldehydes. And what is this? CO is nothing but ketones, my dear students, right? And this structure is R C double bond OR. Now I'm going back to the definition once again. The polyhydroxy carbonyl compounds, are called as carbohydrates. They are called as carbohydrates. Is it very clear? Is this very clear or not? Polyhydroxy means at least two OH groups should be present in carbohydrates. At least two OH group, more than one OH group is there. Along with that OH groups, along with those OH groups, either aldehyde is present or ketone is present. They are nothing but carbohydrates. Once again, I am going to the definition. The polyhydroxy carbonyl compounds are called as carbohydrates. Polyhydroxy means more than one hydroxy group. More than one OH group should be there in that structure along with either aldehyde or ketone. I think it is very much clear. This is about what? The introduction of carbohydrates. Of course, they are energy sources for living systems, and the definition is the polyhydroxy carbonyl compounds. Carbohydrates are the polyhydroxy carbonyl compounds and they are called as carbohydrates. What are carbonyl compounds? Either aldehydes or ketones. From this definition, carbohydrate should contain at least more than one OH group along with either aldehyde or ketone. I think it is very much clear, right? Now we are going to the classification of carbohydrates now. Classification of carbohydrates based on number of units. Based on number of units. This is the first classification based on number of units. The first one is monosaccharides. Simplest units which cannot be simplified further. Simplest units which cannot be simplified further. Yeah, they are nothing but glucose, mannose, fructose, etc. And don't bother about this particular word saccharide. Saccharide is nothing but carbohydrate. Saccharide, wait a minute. Yes, saccharide is nothing but, my dear students, it is nothing but carbohydrate. Carbohydrate. Is it clear or not? Don't bother about the word saccharide. What is monosaccharide? It is the simplest carbohydrate which cannot be furtherly simplified. We are not going to be able to simplify furtherly. That is the simplest unit of carbohydrate, right? They are nothing but glucose, mannose, fructose. Nothing but simple carbohydrates. Monosaccharides are nothing but simple carbohydrates. Don't bother about the word saccharide. Saccharide is nothing but a carbohydrate as a sugar, or it is a sugar, simple sugar. It is with simplest units which cannot be furtherly simplified. Now the second one is oligosaccharides. Look here, the terminologies are very important. Oligosaccharides, right? The saccharide, otherwise the carbohydrate, otherwise the sugar, which is with 2 to 10 units of monosaccharides. 2 to 10 units of monosaccharides is nothing but oligosaccharide is nothing but it is somewhat complexic carbohydrate, not the simple carbohydrate. Oligosaccharide is nothing but somewhat complexic carbohydrate, which is the combination of 2 to 10 monosaccharides. 2 to 10 monosaccharides. On hydrolyze this or on divide this, we will get 2 simple units or 3 simple units or 4 simple units up to 10. They are named as what? Oligosaccharides. Is it clear? Yes. Sucrose is an oligosaccharide. Maltose is an oligosaccharide. Lactose is an oligosaccharide. And clearగా చెప్పాలంటే they are the combination of 2 units. They are the combination of 2 units of monosaccharides. 2 units are there. It is generally called as disaccharide. Disaccharide, my dear students. 3 units are there. Trisaccharide. Trisaccharide. Okay. 4 units are there. Tetrasaccharide. Like that. 5 units are there. Pentasaccharides. Then generally these are all comes under the category of oligosaccharides. Nothing to worry about oligosaccharides. Oligosaccharides are the carbohydrates which are made up of 2 to 10 monosaccharides. 2 to 10 monosaccharides. Is it clear or not? So these are some of the examples. Sucrose, maltose, lactose, generally on hydrolysis, otherwise generally they are made up of 2 units. 2 monosaccharides are present in sucrose. What they are? Glucose and fructose. Maltose also with 2 units. Lactose also with simple 2 carbohydrates. Is it clear or not? Two units are there in a oligosaccharide, that is called as disaccharide. In an oligosaccharides, 3 units are present, that is called as trisaccharides. Generally like that. 4 are there means tetrasaccharide. Polysaccharides. Now the next classification based on number of units is polysaccharides. Greater than 10 monosaccharides are present in a carbohydrate. Suppose X in a carbohydrate undi. In that carbohydrate X, there are more than 10 units of monosaccharides. There are more than 10 units of monosaccharides. Is comes under polysaccharides. Clear? Example is starch, cellulose, etc. Dear students, don't bother about the word saccharide. It is very clear. Saccharide. It is nothing but a carbohydrate. It is nothing but a carbohydrate. Don't bother. Otherwise, it is also called as sugar. No problem. Saccharide is nothing but carbohydrate. Carbohydrate is nothing but sugar. Don't bother about this word. Saccharide. Saccharide is nothing but sugar or carbohydrate, which is the simple unit, is nothing but monosaccharide. It is cannot be split further. It cannot be split further. It is a simpler unit which cannot be simplified further. They are called as what? Glucose. They are called as what? Monosaccharides. Examples are glucose, mannose, fructose. But what are the oligosaccharides? A carbohydrate which is the combination of 2 to 10 units of monosaccharides. 2 to 10 units of monosaccharides. They are nothing but oligosaccharides. Is it clear? Some examples I am giving: sucrose, maltose, lactose. Suppose two units only there. They are generally called as disaccharides. 3 units are there. They are generally called as trisaccharides. 4 units are there. They are generally called as tetrasaccharides. Up to 10. All of them are collectively known as oligosaccharides. Is it clear or not? Then polysaccharides. The carbohydrate which is the combination of more than 10 units of monosaccharides, very high units kuda untayi, chala pedda pedda units kuda untayi. Sometimes it is nothing but the combination of thousand monosaccharides, like that. Example is starch, cellulose, etc. This is the first classification, my dear students. If you want to take screenshot, you take it. Otherwise, I am giving explanation very slowly. You may take the notes also by pausing the video. Okay, is it clear or not? Right, saccharide is nothing but carbohydrate or sugar. And the next classification is based on water solubility. Next classification of carbohydrates is based on water solubility. According to this property, carbohydrates are furtherly classified into sugars and non-sugars. Sugars and non-sugars. This particular classification is based on water solubility, my dear students. Sugar or non-sugar. Carbohydrates are furtherly classified into sugar and non-sugar based on water solubility. Sugars are crystalline substances. Sugars are crystalline substances and non-sugars are non-crystalline. Otherwise, they are amorphous anukochu. They are amorphous. And sugars are water soluble. This is very, very important. Sugars are water soluble. This is very, very important. Non-sugars are water insoluble. Non-sugars are water insoluble. And sugars are sweet in taste. Sugars are sweet in taste. And non-sugars are tasteless. Non-sugars are tasteless, my dear students. Non-sugars are tasteless. Then finally, I am giving the examples. We know glucose is very sweet in taste. Fructose is also sweet in taste. Fructose is also called as fruit sugar. Fruit sugar. This is also called as fruit sugar. It is also sweet in taste. Sucrose is sweet in taste. Sucrose is also sweet in taste. When you come to this, starch, cellulose, they are plant-based carbohydrates and animal digestive carbohydrates, somewhat tasteless. Somewhat tasteless. This is the classification of carbohydrates based on water solubility. If any sugar is completely dissolved in water, it is nothing but sugar. It is not dissolving in water, it is non-sugar. Sugars summons extra properties. Sugars are crystalline. Sugars are sweet in taste. Sugars are sweet in taste, my dear students. We know these familiar examples: glucose, fructose, sucrose. These are comes under sugars. They are crystalline, they are water soluble, they are sweet in taste. But non-sugar carbohydrates also present. They are nothing but non-crystalline, water insoluble, tasteless. The examples are starch and cellulose, my dear students. I am going to the third classification, that is the classification based on reducing property. This is somewhat chemical property. This is somewhat chemical property, my dear students. Don't bother about this. This is also very easy. And the carbohydrates are based on, classified into two categories again on this particular property. Reducing property. Reducing property. Right. Some sugars are called as reducing sugars. Some sugars are called as reducing sugars. Some sugars are called as non-reducing sugars, my dear students. Reducing sugars and non-reducing sugars. Yes, these two are very important reagents. I'll explain later. But now you just memorize this. You will study this in your organic chemistry also. Don't bother. Don't bother. It is a simple concept. What are reducing sugars? Those which can reduce. The carbohydrates or sugars, those which can reduce Tollens reagent. Mudga TR and పిలుచుకుంటాం. Tollens reagent, it is nothing but TR. Or Fehling's reagent, it is nothing but FR. These are the full names, these are the short names. What is TR? Tollens reagent. What is FR, my dear students? Fehling's reagent. Yes, actually these two are mild oxidizing agents. TR and FR are Tollens reagent and Fehling's reagent are mild oxidizing agents, my dear students. They can oxidize sugars. These two can oxidize sugars. These two can oxidize sugars. Themselves they are going to be reduced. Keep this ఇన్ యువర్ మైండ్ వెరీ క్లియర్ వే, ఇన్ ఏ వెరీ క్లియర్ వే, చాలా జాగ్రత్తగా మైండ్లో పెట్టుకోండి. దట్ ఈస్ నథింగ్ బట్ దీస్ టూ ఆర్ మైల్డ్ ఆక్సిడైజింగ్ ఏజెంట్స్, TR and FR. TR is nothing but tolerance reagent, FR is nothing but Fehling's reagent. These two are mild oxidizing agent, not strong oxidizing agent. They are able to oxidize some sugars, some carbohydrates. They are able to oxidize some sugars or some carbohydrates. These are going to be oxidize the adjacent ones. Themselves they are reducing. పక్కన వాటిని ఆక్సిడైజ్ చేస్తాయి, బట్ దే ఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు బి రెడ్యూస్ దెమ్సెల్వ్స్. దట్స్ వే సమ్ షుగర్స్ విచ్ కెన్ రెడ్యూస్ tolerance reagent. What is the meaning of this? Some sugars are oxidized by tolerance reagent. Some sugars are oxidized by Fehling's reagent. That means sugars are reducing the tolerance reagent. Sugars are reducing the Fehling's reagent. You're getting my point or not? These reagents can oxidize the sugars and vice versa. In reverse way, how can you memorize? These carbohydrates are reducing this. These reagents are oxidizing the sugars. Sugars are reducing these two agents. Is it clear or not? Yes. Those which can reduce these two reagents. Those which can reduce these two reagents. What is the meaning of this? These two are able to oxidize these sugars. Is it clear or not? I'm again explaining you. Oxidizing agents are nothing but they can oxidize the adjacent ones. They can oxidize the X. They can oxidize the X by reducing themselves. What is the meaning of this? X is reducing these two. Is it clear or not? TR and FR oxidizing X and X is reducing TR and FR. Is it clear or not? That means this is able to reduce these two and these two are able to oxidize this. I'm coming back. Those sugars or carbohydrates are going to reduce these two reagents, or that sugar is oxidized by these two reagents, right? They are called as reducing sugars. Examples are glucose, fructose, lactose, maltose, etc. Many more reducing sugars are there. These are all able to reduce these two reagents. Otherwise, these two reagents can easily oxidize these. These are readily reduce these two. Is it clear or not? Yes, my dear students. No problem. Don't bother about it. Right. Then, what are non-reducing sugars, my dear students? The sugars are carbohydrates, those which are not reduced. These two reagents are nothing but non-reducing sugars. The examples are starch, cellulose, sucrose. My dear students, why is oxidizing agent అనుకోండి. What is the meaning of oxidizing agent? It can oxidize X. Y can oxidize X. That's why Y is called as oxidizing agent. And what is the thing is here happening is X is oxidized by Y. In another way, how can you understand X is reducing Y? X is reducing Y. Oxidation and reduction are simultaneous process. That is the thing here present. And keep in your mind, tolerance reagent and Fehling's reagent are mild oxidizing agents, my dear students. These two can oxidize sugars. Sugars can reduce these two. That means the sugars which are able to reduce these two are called as reducing agents, reducing sugars. The sugars which are unable to reduce these two, they are non-reducing sugars. The examples are starch, cellulose, sucrose for non-reducing sugars. And for reducing sugars, the examples are glucose, fructose, lactose, mannose, etc. This is another classification of carbohydrates. Is it clear so far? Any doubts? You can contact me through WhatsApp. Okay, na? In group. Right, my dear students. Next, we'll discuss one by one. We have discussed what? Monosaccharides, disaccharides, oligosaccharides, like that. Now we are discussing one by one. Those are nothing but monosaccharides first. What are monosaccharides? These are the simplest carbohydrates which cannot be furtherly simplified. Those simple carbohydrates which cannot be further simplified. They are nothing but what, my dear students? Monosaccharides. Monosaccharides again of two types. Some monosaccharides are called aldoses. Some other monosaccharides are called ketoses. Aldoses, ketoses. Oses are nothing but carbohydrates again. OSE is nothing but carbohydrate. Some of them are aldoses, some of them are called ketoses. What are aldoses? It is very simple. Monosaccharides that contains an aldehyde group. If it is with aldehyde group and rest other are OH groups. మిగతావన్నీ OH groups. What are carbohydrates? They are nothing but polyhydroxy carbonyl compounds. Hydroxy groups are compulsory, but in some carbohydrates, along with these OH groups, aldehyde is present. Only aldehyde is present. They are called as aldoses. They are called as aldoses. What are ketoses, my dear students? Monosaccharides that contains an keto group, C double bond O group, rest other OH group. Rest other are OH groups. Is it clear or not? Aldoses means what? The monosaccharides which are with the CHO group and OH groups. Aldehyde and OH groups, they are called aldoses. What are ketoses? The monosaccharides that contain an keto group, rest other are OH groups. OH C double bond O unte ketoses. OH group CHO group unte aldoses. This is the classification of monosaccharides into aldoses and ketoses, my dear students. Now we are going to discuss about what aldoses separately. The general representation of aldoses is very, very important. The general representation of aldoses is, see, look here, this is CHO group, aldehyde group. Is it clear or not? Here OH group is there, here OH group is there. Just this is the general representation. How many CHOH groups are there? How many CHOH groups are there? CHOH group is nothing but chiral center. My dear students, chiral center this is. One side there is CHO, another side there is H, another side there is OH. This side is entirely with CH2OH. Is it clear or not? But this is not the chiral alcohol. There are two hydrogens are around this carbon. Just you count, just you take how many unsymmetrical OH groups are there. How many unsymmetrical carbons attached with OH groups? You have to count them. They are n times they are present. This is the general representation, my dear students. CHO and these carbons are unsymmetrical carbons. Unsymmetrical carbons. How many? N are here. This is the general representation, my dear students. CHOH. Why this is unsymmetrical chiral, my dear students? This carbon is attached with four different groups. One group, second is hydrogen, third is OH, and fourth one is CH2OH group, my dear students. How many unsymmetrical carbons are there? Here n unsymmetrical carbons are there. General representation this is CHO, CH, OH, CH2OH. Unsymmetrical carbons are n here, my dear students, where in n is 1 to 6. Generally in our syllabus we have this type of aldoses only. Is it clear or not? Suppose only one unsymmetrical carbon group is there. CHO, CHOH, CH2OH, my dear students. Totally how many carbons? 1, 2, 3. The functional group is aldehyde. Aldo, tri, 1, 2, 3. Total carbons are 3. Os, aldo, triose, my dear student. Is it clear or not? Aldo, 1, 2, 3, tri. It is a carbohydrate. Aldo, triose, where n is equal to 1. N is nothing but what, my dear students? Unsymmetrical carbons. Unsymmetrical carbons are chiral centers, my dear students. Okay. Then where n is equal to 2. See here. Aldehyde is there. Aldo. Aldehyde is there. Aldo. And how many unsymmetrical carbons are there? Here clearly they are giving you 2. Twice. CHOH, CHOH. Twice. Twice, my dear students. Let me draw this separately. CHO. Yes, this is CHOH. And then CHOH, and finally CH2OH. My dear students, CH2OH means CHH. Otherwise I am drawing like this. Okay, is nothing but CH2OH. This is not unsymmetrical carbon because hydrogens are repeated. This is not unsymmetrical carbon. Hydrogens are repeated. What about this? This is also not unsymmetrical carbon. This is aldehyde functional group. Then what this is? One different, another one is different, another one is different. This is entirely different group. Entirely this is a different group. Is it clear or not? This is an unsymmetrical carbon. And what about this? This is an entirely different group. One side, this is one different group. This is another different group. This is entirely different group. This is also unsymmetrical carbon. My dear students, how many unsymmetrical carbon we have in this structure? 2. Total number of carbons? 1, 2, 3, 4. Otherwise, 1, 2 plus 2. 4 carbons are there. Aldotetrose. How many carbons are here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Tetraose. Carbohydrates are named as Oses. Ose. Aldotetrose, my dear students. Aldotetrose. Is it clear or not? Now N is equal to 3. CHOH groups are in carbohydrates. CHOH groups are unsymmetrical groups. Keep this in your mind. CHOH groups are unsymmetrical carbon containing groups. CHOH is there in a carbohydrate. It is chiral center or unsymmetrical carbon. Now how can you name this? Aldo. How many carbons are there? 1, 2 plus 3. 2 plus 3, 5. Aldopentose. My dear student, for N is equal to 4. That means 4 CHOH groups are present. 4 CHOH groups are present, my dear students. Is it clear? Right, my dear students. Now how many carbons are present? 1, 2, 2 plus 4, 6. And the functional group is aldohexose. Functional group is aldehyde. Entire thing is can be pronounced as aldo 1, 2, 6. 1, 2, 2 plus 4, 6 carbons are there. It is a carbohydrate. Aldohexose. My dear students, it is aldohexose category is very important. Our glucose belongs to this category only. Glucose belongs to this category only. Glucose belongs to aldohexose category. We know the formula, right? C6H12O6, right? How many carbons are here? 6 carbons. Aldohexose. Glucose has functional group is aldehyde. Glucose has aldehyde functional group. Glucose comes under aldohexose category. Glucose comes under aldohexose category, my dear students. I think it is very much understanding. Any doubts are there? You can contact me. No problem. No problem. See, this is the general representation, my dear students. How many CHOH groups are present? That is only the criteria. How many CHOH groups are present? N groups are present. Generally, N is 1 to 7. If N is 1 CHOH group is there with CHO and CH2OH. Total number of carbons are 3. Triose. It is a triose containing aldehyde functional group. So it is named as aldotriose, my dear students. Now N is equal to 2. Between CHO and CH2OH, how many CHOH groups are present? 2. These 2 and these 2. So total number of carbons are 4 and the functional group is aldehyde. It is generally named as what? Aldotetrose. Is it clear, my dear students? Like that, how many CHOH groups are there? Unsymmetrical carbons. How many unsymmetrical carbons are here? 3. How many unsymmetrical carbons? CHOH is nothing but unsymmetrical carbon, chiral center. Is it clear or not? This is very important. Here 3, 2, 4 are unsymmetrical carbons in that carbohydrate. How many unsymmetrical carbons are here? 3. 3 plus 2. How many carbons are present in this? Totally 5 carbons are present. With aldehyde functional group, it is called as aldopentose, my dear students. It is aldohexose. Unsymmetrical carbons are 4. Clear? Unsymmetrical carbons are 4 along with these 2 carbons. Entirely total carbons are 6 with aldehydic functional group. It is generally called as aldohexose, my dear students. Okay, right? Then we are going to the next category. They are nothing but ketoses. The general representation is just like this. CH2OH, it is not unsymmetrical carbon. 2 hydrogens around this carbon. 1, 2. H2 is there. This is not unsymmetrical. C double bond O. This is unsymmetrical. CHOH n times CH2OH, my dear students. This is a general representation of ketosis. Ketosis, my dear students. This is a general representation of ketose. What is the general representation? The first carbon is CH2OH. The last carbon is CH2OH. C double bond O R, C double bond O R. It is nothing but ketone. R, C double bond O R. This is one R group, alkyl group. This is another alkyl group. In between them, there is C double bond O. This is ketone group. Yes. How many unsymmetrical carbons are present? N are present. And the last one is CH2OH. The first one is CH2OH. CH2OH, C double bond O, CHOH n times CH2OH, my dear students, where n is equal to 0 to 6. This is very important. Here, n is equal to 0, my dear student. CH2OH, C double bond O, CH2OH. CH2OH, C double bond O, CH2OH. This is nothing but ketotriose. It is nothing but what it is? Ketotriose. See now, CH2OH, C double bond O, CHOH, CH2OH. Now, here n is equal to 1. The unsymmetrical carbon is only 1. Now count this one and these 3. Entirely, totally, there are 4 carbons in which one is unsymmetrical carbon. In which one is what? Unsymmetrical carbon. Is it clear or not? Total carbons are 4. The functional group is keto group. It is nothing but ketotetrose. Ketotetrose, my dear students. Ketotetrose. Ketotetrose. Keto group is there. Total carbons are 4. So tetraose. Ketotetrose, in which n is equal to 1 means there is one unsymmetrical carbon. There is one unsymmetrical carbon, my dear students. Then n is equal to 2, my dear students. Yes, CH2OH and CH2OH, C double bond O. The functional group is keto group. The functional group is what? Keto group. 2 unsymmetrical carbons are present. 2 unsymmetrical carbons are present in this carbohydrate. We are representing here 2 CHOH, CHOH. It is nothing but 2 unsymmetrical carbons. 2 plus 3, 4, 5. Total carbons are 5. Pent. It is a carbohydrate, O's, and the functional group is keto group. Hence, it is generally called as what? Ketopentose, my dear students. Ketopentose. Now come to this. Here n is equal to 3. That means what? Unsymmetrical carbons are 3. Let me draw this for your understanding purpose.